political conflict, and environmental devastation.
Just ripping it down. Look at this.
This leg of my journey takes me thousands of miles across Australia, through the red earth of the outback, to the tropical waters of the Great Barrier Reef. They are one of the great natural wonders of the world.
Oh my God, that is incredible. That makes tears well up. That's just such an awesome sight.
Off the coast of Western Australia, just to the north of the Tropic of Capricorn, hundreds of humpback whales are resting on their epic annual migration south to Antarctica.
Look at the size, look at this!
Exmouth Gulf plays a critical role in the lives and survival of these awesome giants. It's a quiet spot where whales can bring their young to rest and put on half a ton of fat before travelling thousands of miles to their Antarctic feeding grounds.
Look at them! Oh, I just got some spray over me from them.
Humpbacks were once hunted to near extinction and need these rare sanctuaries to survive, as biologist Kurt Jenner knows only too well. He's been studying them for 20 years.
It's a privilege on this planet in this day and age to have a place like this that is so unique, so undisturbed. These are baby animals that need some place to rest and to grow, but like any nursery, there's silly things that go on. These are precocious young little animals that'll be rolling over mom's nose one moment, falling off backwards the other way, getting their blowholes full of water. They'll come up, you know, there's a lot of just sort of playing that goes on. To be able to see that in a place like this, and literally one whale every square mile in this Gulf, it's phenomenal. It's a fantastic place.
They're that close. And hello to you. Look!
Kurt's wife Mitch is also a marine biologist. She keeps a photographic record of thousands of whales to help identify individuals.
We've got a cow-calf escort pod here, and an escort is believed to be a male whale that is accompanying the female. Now, you may think it's a noble. What purpose? Well, really only because she is deemed successful. She has a calf already, and the breeding season means to pass on genes. So
she might be able to have another one.
He realises, exactly.
One of his men, eh?
That's it. She invests 2 years of her life, and
he
the
invests
male
2 hours.
might be 2 hours or 2 days, yeah.
But over dinner, Kurt tells me of plans he fears could see the whales leave this area for good.
In the last 6 to 12 months, there's been plans put forward to develop a salt mine, an evaporative salt mine on the eastern side of the Gulf. It's a huge area from north to south. It's an extensive range.
Of salt pans?
That's right, yeah. Yeah, apparently the world has an amazing appetite for plastic these days, and as if we hadn't noticed, so this is the key use for salt these days, is in making plastic. So we all have an evil hand in the need for this sort of a product.
How worried are you about the impact on the whales who are coming here?
Basically, what we're looking at as a key threat in this resting area is noise, shipping noise, and that sort of noise is not compatible with resting. Imagine if you were trying to rest with your newborn baby somewhere in a quiet spot, and dump trucks were going by, and people were banging garage doors shut and that sort of thing. You'd want to move, and that's what we're worried will happen with these whales. It's a critical habitat for them. They have to rest here. If they can't do that, it's a population and threatening event.
It's that serious?
Exactly. If these calves cannot rest, they'll probably perish on the way to the Antarctic, and that'll be the end of them.
Out on deck, I could still see whales all around the boat.
The pregnant female's been lying on her back and slapping her fins on the surface of the water. It creates an incredible sound, and it's just an amazing sight. We've been so fortunate.
The salt companies say their plans won't affect the whales, and they promise an economic boost to the area. But it was time for us to leave the coast and start our journey east across this enormous continent, more than 2,500 miles wide. We would be zigzagging along Capricorn, crossing the vast emptiness of Australia's outback. Western Australia is enjoying a huge economic boom. This state, bigger than Western Europe, is stuffed full of valuable natural resources. But it hasn't always been the land of milk and honey. In the 1930s, miners started hacking thousands of tons of asbestos out of rocks here in the beautiful Pilbara region. A large asbestos mine was situated next to what's now the Karijini National Park. The mine closed down 40 years ago, and the nearby town of Wittenoom has been in decline ever since. We'd studied the risks posed by visiting Wittenoom before making the journey. Reports suggest the threat to visitors is low, but the signs made me nervous. The state government has said the nearby mine is the most asbestos-contaminated area in the world. So we plan to make just a short visit to the town.
Look at this, you've got houses here that are overgrown with weeds growing in the gardens and boarded up there. This is creepy.
When the nearby mine was operating, this was a dangerous place. Studies estimate hundreds, possibly thousands of workers have died from cancer after inhaling toxic fibres while mining the asbestos-lined rocks. The town of Wittenoom has been dying for years. Almost everyone has moved out. The government has flattened houses and taken the town off maps. But a few hardy souls are refusing to leave.
Hello. All right. Would you be Meg?
Yes, I am.
Hello, Meg.
Meg and Frank Timewell are two of the 8 stalwarts who remain.
Who would want to go anywhere else bar living here? Look at those mountains. Beautiful.
Frank's been here in the Pilbara for more than 4 decades, but the couple have now been offered government money to leave. Some people say that Wittenoom is the site of one of the great industrial disasters in Australian history. Why do you want to stay here?
It's our home.
Yeah.
This was the first house built in Wittenoom.
This cost me.
This was the first house in the town?
First house in the town. It cost me $1,000 to buy.
How much is it worth now?
Well,
It's
the
not
government
nothing.
reckon it's only worth $40,000.
It's nothing because we don't want to sell it. It's our home. So we don't have a value on it.
It's a bloody insult to come and offer us $40,000 for our home of all these years.
Is it not possible that the government just wants you out just because they're worried about your health and they're trying to protect you?
That's crap.
Sorry.
Absolute crap.
Despite evidence the threat from asbestos has declined, the local government isn't taking chances and wants Meg and Frank out. Gradually, all lifelines to the town have been cut. What services have you lost then? What's been turned off by the government or the council?
We've lost our power through the power grid. We now have to provide our own water, rubbish collection, street lighting, road maintenance. We've lost our postal services, police. The only thing that we haven't really lost is our communication.
And the other thing you haven't lost is each other. Because
Wow.
the two of you are
We
quite
will
a
never-
formidable partnership, aren't
We
you?
will never lose each other. Despite any adversity, we will never lose each other. In actual fact,
Yeah.
this has made us all the more resilient
Yep.
and the more determined.
Asbestos can be deadly, and I can understand why the authorities might want to get the residents out and bury Wittenoom. But I think the state government might have met its match in two of the most extraordinary characters I've met on my journey around Capricorn. The next morning, I hitched a ride in one of the world's biggest trucks. It's called a road train. This 50-metre giant cost £500,000, and today it's carrying 120,000 litres of fuel towards the Tropic of Capricorn and the town of Newman. Off the coast of Western Australia, just to the north of the Tropic of Capricorn, hundreds of humpback whales are resting on their epic annual migration south to Antarctica.
Look at the size, look at this!
Political conflict and environmental devastation.
Just ripping it down, look at this!
This leg of my journey takes me thousands of miles across Australia, through the red earth of the outback, to the tropical waters of the Great Barrier Reef.
Spray over me from them.
Humpbacks were once hunted to near extinction and need these rare sanctuaries to survive, as biologist Kurt Jenner knows only too well. He's been studying them for 20 years.
It's a privilege on this planet in this day and age to have a place like this.
Exmouth Gulf plays a critical role in the lives and survival of these awesome giants. It's a quiet spot where whales can bring their young to rest and put on half a ton of fat before travelling thousands of miles to their Antarctic feeding grounds.
Look at them! Oh, I just got some...
They are one of the great natural wonders of the world.
Oh my God, that is incredible. That makes tears well up. That's just such an awesome sight.